Okay, welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really try to dig into sources and pull out the key stuff for you. And today we are tackling excerpts from Karen Travis's Star Wars, Republic Commando, True Colors.
Yeah, and it's more than just, a standard military story. It goes way deeper.
Definitely. It's a really profound look at the lives, the
Yeah.
loyalties, the kind of hidden struggles inside the Grand Army of the Republic.
Exactly. What's so fascinating, I think, is how Travis just peels back all these layers of the galactic conflict, moving beyond the big battles. It reveals the personal sacrifices, the political stuff happening behind the scenes, and some really tough ethical questions for the soldiers.
Especially the clones themselves.
Especially the clones, yeah. So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to unpack those critical ideas about identity, loyalty, and the true cost of war, the stuff often hidden in plain sight.
We'll definitely explore those unexpected bonds that form under fire and the really murky politics behind the front lines. And, these very personal fights for a future that these soldiers, human and clone, are actually desperate for.
It's a side of Star Wars you don't always get to see, much more complex.
Right. So let's really get into it. This core question the novel tackles. What does it actually mean to be bred for war? I mean, just to be a living being, but also, well, seen as disposable property.
Yeah, it's pretty stark.
We meet characters like Darman, right? A Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Physically, he's what, 11 or 12?
Something like that, yeah. But his manuals say he's 23, 24, just engineered purely for combat.
Wow. And how does he see it?
Well, he wonders, why Palpatine is dragging the war out. Why not just smash the separatist targets? He feels robbed, basically, robbed of a normal life he never had.
And this idea of being expendable, it's brutal.
It really is. You hear it from Aiden, another clone. He just says it straight out. Clones are extra expendable.
Extra expendable.
Yeah. No rights, no vote, no families to kick up a stink about how they're treated. Just bred, used, and thrown away.
That's chilling. So does that mean, if they're bred for this, do they not feel fear or worry about dying? Do they even have, regrets?
See, that's what's so interesting. The book makes it really, really clear that they do. They absolutely feel fear. They carry regrets. They definitely want more than just fighting. It completely flips that idea of them being just, biological droids.
So not just programmed weapons, they're individuals dealing with very human stuff despite everything.
Exactly. And it's not just internal. You mentioned how they're viewed. Many cultures in the galaxy see them as just killers or even something immoral.
Yet, despite all that, the condemnation, their intended purpose, they form these incredibly strong bonds.
Deep emotional ties, yeah. Darman, for example, he just can't imagine life without his squad. His brothers, he knows them inside out.
That bond goes way beyond their training, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And you see internal struggles, too, like with Niner. He's another commando, keeps his own feelings bottled up to keep morale high, even when everyone else is complaining about the war.
That's tough.
Yeah. And Darman himself, he finds it really hard to kill other clones, even deserters, AWOL troopers. It's totally different from killing the enemy he was made to fight.
Which says a lot about their inherent humanity, doesn't
It
it?
really does. It's powerful stuff. And, these internal struggles, they connect to bigger things, external influences.
Like the Mandalorians.
Exactly. That's a huge theme in these excerpts. The profound influence of Mandalorian culture, especially through guys like Kal Skirata and Walon Vao. Skirata, he's a Mandalorian merc, but he's like a fierce dad to his boys, the clones he trained.
He's got some strong opinions on their creation, right?
Oh, yeah. He's convinced the Kaminoans totally messed up the null ARCs. Those are the sort of prototype commandos like Ordo and Mariel.
Yeah.
Skirata thinks the genetic tampering and harsh training made them troubled, unpredictable, but also fiercely loyal.
And his commitment to them is, extreme.
Totally. He robs a bank, 40 million credits, defies Republic orders, all to try and give these clones a future. He specifically wants to stop their accelerated aging.
40 million credits. Wow. It's serious dedication.
And the name of his ship tells you a lot, too. Ihen.
What does that mean?
It's this deep Mandalorian idea. It's about bittersweet love, remembering family, the living and the dead. It really shows how deep his connection is.
He sees giving them choice as the key, right, to being free men.
Yeah, even though he knows there's this blurred line between slavery and economic dependence for them in the galaxy, choice is freedom for Skirata.
Then you've got Walon Vao, the other Mandalorian trainer.
Yeah.
Very different reputation.
Much harsher, yeah. His whole thing was reinforcing their animal will to survive, brutal methods.
Then he does something unexpected.
Right. He uses his own inheritance money to cover Skirata's tracks after the robbery. So he's basically funding the whole operation. It's not just self-interest. It's this really complex loyalty, definitely not just to the Republic.
Even Val shows a softer side, sort of, with his pet Strill.
Ymir, yeah. This ferocious little predator, but Val treats it with affection. It's described as clever and cute, and it even builds a nest for Etane's baby later on. A surprisingly paternal glimpse.
And the Nulls themselves, Ordo and Muriel.
Incredibly skilled, super quick learners. They can handle anything, flying unfamiliar ships, complex computer stuff like forensic auditing, slicing systems.
Very capable. And their loyalty.
Unshakable. Ordo has this instant, unshakable devotion to people he trusts, which the book says was amplified by the Kaminoan tinkering.
And Muriel.
He's got a bit of a mischievous streak, likes taking risks. The book hints maybe he does it partly to step out from Ordo's shadow, you know?
Okay, so we've got these personal loyalties, these adopted families almost. But what about the Republic they're supposed to be serving? Things seem darker there.
Yeah, the sources definitely hint at a much larger, darker picture. Secrecy, control.
Like that Treasury agent, Viseni Winnan. Her audit finds nothing for the clone army funding.
Pretty much. No public record for this massive army that just appeared literally overnight.
What does that even imply?
Well, the text suggests fraudulent accounting on an unthinkable scale. That's the quote.
Wow. And how are the Kaminoans getting paid for future clones?
Good question. There's no sign of it, which could mean the costs are buried deep somewhere, or maybe the Republic plans to just, cut them loose after the war.
Doesn't exactly build trust.
Not at all. And it gets worse. Muriel digs up some intel, later confirmed by a Gurlanin informant, one of those shapeshifters.
Okay, what is it?
That Palpatine is secretly building his own cloning facilities. On Centax 2, that moon near Coruscant, maybe even on Coruscant itself.
His own facilities, why?
Possibly using faster but lower quality Arcanian tech. And the really key thing.
What's that?
The GIR command, the Jedi generals included, they're completely in the dark about this.
So Palpatine wants direct control. Cutting out the Kaminoans.
Looks like it. It suggests a much bigger, more sinister agenda brewing under the surface.
And maybe explains why Darman felt the war was being dragged out.
Exactly. Possibly being fed a stalemate by the Chancellor himself for political reasons, not just military ones.
It's not just about battles either, is it? There's mention of corporate invasions.
Yeah, on planets like Ayat. Disguised as legal invitations, but basically strategic interests dictating military action, potentially trampling over civilians and resources. It's messy. Very gray.
Definitely not the clean good versus evil we sometimes think of.
Not in this book, no. And speaking of hidden agendas and desperate measures, that brings us to Ko Sai.
The Kaminoan chief scientist. Everyone seems to be after her.
She's in demand, absolutely. Delta Squad, the Republic commandos, are hunting her on Palpatine's orders, but Skirata and his crew are hunting her too for totally different reasons.
He defected from Kamino, right? With secrets.
Trade secrets, yeah. So she's hiding out in the secret lab on a planet called Daruma.
And there are signs others are after her too. That skeleton.
Right. Found underwater, tied with a specific Mandalorian knot. Hints that maybe the Kaminoans hired someone to track her down. They weren't happy she jumped ship. It's a dangerous game.
So what does Skirata want from her? It's about the aging, isn't it?
That's his #1 goal. Force her to reveal how to switch off the accelerated aging in the clones. It's everything to him. The key to a real life for his boys.
She sounds like a pretty cold character herself. Etane senses.
Yeah.
Nothing from her.
A complete void in the Force. Etane feels Ko Sai sees other beings purely as objects. Which makes sense, sadly, given her willingness to just cull clones she saw as defective.
Chilling. But then Mariel, he destroys her research.
He does. It's complicated. He uses fake data chips, so Skirata thinks he destroyed the real stuff.
Why fake ones?
Well, it stops Palpatine's forces getting their hands on Ko Sai's knowledge if she's captured, so it averts that immediate danger. But it also means the potential cure for the clones might be lost forever. A huge ethical dilemma.
Yeah, wow. And adding urgency to all this is Editane's baby, right? It's Darman.
Venku. Yeah. Skirata names him Venku. It's a Mandalorian word for optimism, like a good, positive name for any son. It really shows Skirata's hope for a normal future somehow.
Even Ko Sai is interested in the baby.
Fascinated by his unique genetics. Sees him as a new puzzle, even while she's basically a prisoner. It just highlights her detached scientific view of life.
It's incredible how these huge galactic events boil down to such personal stakes, like Eteen's whole journey.
Yeah, she's a Jedi general, but she's also pregnant, trying to hide it, sent off to Keylora.
And she's getting disillusioned with the Jedi, the Republic.
Definitely. Their detachment, the Republic's policies. She ends up seeking refuge with the Mandalorians, and she struggles with the Force sometimes, like not sensing Ko Sai's void or the Gorlanans dying.
So what does she do?
She makes a huge decision, asks for a transfer out of the Jedi Order, wants to be a combat medic instead, prioritizing actually helping people directly over the politics.
That's major. And she's not the only Jedi feeling that way. Jusik.
Bardan Jusik, yeah. Another Jedi general also really at odds with Jedi policy.
What's his issue?
He believes in individual action, in making a tangible difference, more than just serving the government line. He has this sorrowful calm about him, and he also resigns his commission, becomes a combat medic too, driven by his own strong moral compass, that commitment to healing.
2 Jedi generals stepping away. That's significant.
It really signals a shift, a questioning of the Order's role, and then there's the incident with Phi.
The Omega Squad Commando who gets injured, falls into a coma.
Yeah, and his situation just rips the cover off the Republic's terrible treatment of clones. There's basically no long-term medical care plan for them.
So what happens?
The hospital, Republic Central Med Center, they threaten to just terminate his life support because he's not a citizen. He's Grand Army property.
That's horrifying. Proctor.
It is. Just cold bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But Beseniwan, the Treasury agent,
She steps in.
heroically pulls a blaster to stop them euthanizing him. It shows the desperate lengths people go to, the compassionate ones, to protect these clones.
And Jusik helps him recover.
Yeah, Jusik uses his Jedi healing abilities, and Phi eventually pulls through. It really highlights those bonds of care again, contrasting so sharply with the official indifference.
So loyalty is complicated.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Totally shifting. You've got clones complaining, some ARCs even deserting. The Mandalorians are fighting for their own reasons, often credits or Skirata's cause, not the Republic.
It paints a picture of, well, individuals mattering more than institutions.
Exactly. And you even see it in small ways, like the contrast between a service droid like 2-1, all professional ego, and the genuine deep care shown by the humans and clones for each other. It's about what they truly value: family, loyalty, survival.
Okay, so wrapping this up.
Yeah.
From secret clone armies and hidden money trails
to really personal fights about identity, loyalty, aging.
This deep dive into true colors has shown us a Star Wars galaxy that's, well, a lot more complex and morally gray than you might expect.
Yeah, what really stands out is how the term Republic itself gets pretty shaky here, doesn't it? Individuals, small groups, they're defining their own missions, their own priorities, sometimes completely going against official orders or policies. It makes you wonder, in a huge war like this, how much does the supposed good side end up doing things it would normally condemn?
Yeah, that's a heavy question. And here's maybe one more for you to think about. If the fate of millions, the outcome of the war, maybe even the future of the galaxy, hinges on these personal choices, these quiet acts of defiance by just a few people like Skirata, Etain, Jusik, what does that really say about the strength or maybe the fragility of a democracy caught up in war?
Something to definitely chew on.
We hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about. Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning.
And keep exploring.